Miss Bateman, welcome back to Ticehurst House. It's been quite some time. Terrible weather this evening, is it not? Nurse Blaketon has had enough of me smoking inside. Makes her cough, you see. A bit of rain won't kill me, will it? You mustn't be interested in me nattering on. Give my regards to your father. Nurse Blaketon is preparing his supper. You look pale, Miss Bateman. Do head inside. You'll catch your death out here.
Excavation of Hobbs and Barrow, huh?
Dearest Mother, I hope this letter will reach you. I have spent these past years in torment, trying to piece together what remains of fractured memories. What I am about to recount to you will seem beyond comprehension, but I beg for your patience.
Cheap.
I will endeavour to explain the events that led me to Ticehurst House that night. As far as I can recall, this whole wretched story started with the receipt of a letter from a Mr. Leonard Shoulder. The letter brought me to the isolated village of Bewlay, deep in the moors. No station master in sight. I hope the village isn't too far away. I can't recall our exact meeting place. Mr. Shoulder mentioned it in his letter.
Walk. Left click to walk, interact, right click to examine. To access the inventory and menu, move your mouse cursor to the top of the screen. Left click on an inventory item to select it, right click to examine it. Once an inventory item is selected, you can right click to deselect it. You can double click on an exit to teleport directly to it. The game will occasionally autosave. You can also save anytime via the menu. Keyboard shortcuts. Escape menu. A map. F5 quick save. F7 quick load. Spacebar hold. Show interactable hotspots. Understood, sir. Poor man.
Hello there. The post looks unattended. Hello? A door of fine construction.
Hello, Sam.
If I take the sign, how would the trains know where to stop? Bewlay, I have great expectations for this Barrow.
Let's see if we can go that way. Let's go to the right.
My mother always told me not to walk on railway tracks.
Let's see.
The tracks look quite untarnished. I don't think many trains come through here.
Let's go up that way. Let's just see. Is there anything hiding anywhere? Point and click adventure games is always hard sometimes to see where you need to click. There might be something hiding somewhere. Doesn't look like it this time. That I can see at least. Facts. Nope. Okay.
I ought to read Mr. Shoulder's letter again. I can't recall the name of our meeting place.
Oh. Dear Miss Bateman, I write this letter in the hope of piquing your curiosity. I read about your expertise in barrows, and if I understand correctly, you're writing a book on them and the treasure they contain. I live in the village of Bewlay, where a most special barrow can be found on the outskirts. It is rectangular in form and is certainly tall enough to stand up in. The place is steeped in the local legend, and there is rumor of secrets to be found deep within. I hope you will not misunderstand me and find this letter intrusive. If you wish to visit Bewlay and excavate the barrow, I will be pleased to be your guide. Please send your response to the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewlay. I shall await your letter. Yours respectfully, Mr. Leonard Shoulder. Okay, here's another one. Dear Miss Bateman, marvelous news. I shall meet you at 8 o'clock in the evening on the 14th of this new month at the Plough and Furrow Inn, Bewlay. The inn has fine rooms which you will find adequate for your short stay. When we meet, I shall tell you more of the circumstances surrounding the site, which is referred to locally as Hobbs Barrow. It is not located on my own land, but we will have no issues gaining permission to excavate. I wish you a safe journey.
I must make my way to the Plough and Furrow Inn. Excuse me?
Yes?
Travel?
Where are you travelling to today?
That would be none of your business, young lady.
Quite. Apologies.
Plough and Furrow Inn.
I'm looking for the Plough and Furrow Inn. Do you know where I can find it?
Ah, young lady. Leave the station and follow the dry stone wall for around half a mile. You'll come to Bewlay. Go straight ahead and you'll find the market square. The inn is t'other side at square.
Thank you very much. What can you tell me about Bewlay?
Well, it used to be a thriving village. Not so much now. I don't spend much time there these days.
Are you local?
Ah, yes, a local I am. But I don't live in the village.
I wish you a pleasant journey.
Okay.
What brings you to Bewlay?
I beg your pardon?
What brings you to Bewlay, miss?
Tell the truth, I have nothing to hide.
I'm here to visit a local landmark, Hobbs Barrow.
Hobbs Barrow? Well, I can't say I've heard of it. For what reason?
I wish to excavate it.
Grave robber, are you?
Not at all. I merely have an interest in antiquities.
Not much to be found in Bewlay, if you ask me. You're better off waiting for the next train back to the city.
I'll take my chances.
Can't say I didn't warn you.
Okay.
That was odd. The old woman told me to go straight ahead to get to the inn. I'll have time to explore tomorrow.
Aw.
Perhaps this belongs to a merchant. The bucket has seen better days. The bucket is rusty and full of holes. This must belong to someone. I should leave it alone. The cross cross denotes this as the site of a market, or perhaps a site of traditional religious significance. Quite an ornate construction, this was created with pride and care. The plough and furrow. I have a bit of time before Mr. Shoulder arrives. I should inquire about a room. The man looks thoroughly inebriated.
Hello there. What's the young lady doing out alone in this sodden weather?
I'm heading to the Plough and Furrow.
I'm heading to the Plough and Furrow.
Bloody good pub, that. It has the finest ales in the whole county. Oh, I'll take you there if you like.
I believe we are standing directly in front of it.
Oh, so we are. Please,
Yes.
give us a kiss now, won't you?
How dare you?
Wench.
What a buffoon.
To slap, he deserved it.
I should speak to the innkeeper about a room. It's a crudely painted scene that appears to be of a biblical nature.
Oh, Adam and Eve.
A decorative plate depicting a serpent. A fine exemplar of inebriation. A rather miserable looking fellow. He's playing a board game by himself. I think it's Three Men's Morris. They are engaged in an intense discussion. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, lass. How can I help you?
Room.
I am in need of a room for the night.
Aye, we aren't short of those. One night, is it?
I shall need at least 2 nights, maybe more.
Aye, 'tis not a problem. 3 shilling per night. That includes your dinner and tea.
A fair price.
I'll need that payment up front for the 2 nights.
This is payment for the room.
Thank you. Can I ask for your name, lass?
Thomasina Bateman.
And will Mr. Bateman be staying with us tonight?
No, I am not wed. My assistant is arriving in Bewlay tomorrow.
Your assistant, you say? Will you be needing another room?
Please.
I'll keep a room spare. It's not quite as nice as yours, I'm afraid.
Not a problem, sir. I'm sure it will be adequate. Kenneth is a man of inexpensive taste.
Here's your key. Just go through the door to the right of the bar, then up the stairs. Room number 2.
Thank you.
Can I help you with your luggage?
No, thank you, sir. I can manage. I should go upstairs and freshen up before Mr. Shoulder arrives. The painting depicts a rocky-edged lake. A small bronze plate states the name Lake Cubilius. A pixie-faced peasant boy, painted in a naive style. A majestic animal, cut down in his prime. The crackling fireplace is more welcoming than the facial expressions of the locals. They are engaged in an intense discussion. This painting shows a Rubenesque figure brushing her hair. Quite unusual to see such a sensual work in a room like this. A colourful work depicting a bashful knight. It is signed N. Hamley.
Ode to Tonberg. Visions of Wrinklewood.
A biblical scene of some kind. An angel is depicted looking longingly to the heavens.
Ah, many.
Prices are cheap here. I'm not hungry at the moment. This shall do nicely. Time to change into something more comfortable. Much better. A jug of water for drinking or washing. I've hung my dress inside. Aside from that, the wardrobe is empty. A decorative plate depicting a goat. A painting of surprising quality. It portrays a rocky outcrop overlooking a vast moor, perhaps a local landmark. Ah, complementary matches. Useful. There's only one match left, though. As the only light source in the room, I ought to leave this here. Jammed shut. The wood must have warped over the years. Jammed shut. I've stored my case in there. A box within a box. No doubt the mattress is stuffed with itchy straw. I don't wish to carry the bowl around with me.
No.
An empty bowl has been provided for washing.
Old man.
Hello, sir.
Aye,
Do you know a Mr. Leonard Shoulder?
you're not local. You've come on that bloody train, haven't you? Bewlay's going to dogs.
My name is Thomasina Bateman, and you are...
None of your business, lass. Where's your husband?
None of your business, sir.
Ha! You're brave coming in here, all on your own.
I'm a grown woman.
I'm Cyril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cyril. Do you know Mr. Shoulder?
That be none of your business, lass. I don't come to your city poking around asking questions, do I? Man just wants to enjoy his ale in peace.
I take it you are not enamored with the railway station.
Bewlay's gonna be swarming with outsiders, like you. We don't want you coming here. It's as simple as that, lass.
Why not?
This is our town, our land.
I assure you, I am not here to cause trouble.
We'll see about that, won't we?
What can you tell me
Grumpy
about
old
Bewlay?
man.
We're a proud community. I've lived here my whole life. Not much here to interest folks like you.
Folks like me.
Aye.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra, lass.
Good afternoon, sir.
Nout for you here.
I beg your pardon?
I said there's nout for you here, lass. Be on your way.
Charming.
Miss Bateman, you've transformed.
I feel far more comfortable in my outdoor clothing.
You look like one of those explorers you see in the newspaper.
I guess you could call me an explorer of sorts.
I'm Stanley. Stanley Kemp.
A pleasure to meet you, Stanley.
And tell me, I trust your room is adequate.
Most adequate.
Excellent.
Okay, let's see if we can see what he knows.
I'm looking for a man named Leonard Shoulder.
Aye, I know the man.
I'm to meet him here tonight.
Can I get you something to drink while you wait?
Not yet, thank you.
It was a short one, the Warriors, so...
What can you tell me about Mr. Shoulder?
Aye, he's a quiet fellow. He only comes here to check his post.
Yes, I've been corresponding with him using this address.
Have you now? You found yourself an admirer.
Not quite.
What business do you have with old Leonard, then?
Well, if you must know, I am what some people call a barrow digger.
A what?
A barrow digger.
What in God's name is that?
Are you familiar with tumuli?
Afraid not.
Barrow is another word for tumulus, or tumuli in the plural. A profoundly interesting subject.
You've lost me.
I excavate ancient burial sites looking for relics. A barrow
Time for
is
some more
traditionally a circular
Kingdom
mound of
Deliverance 2
raised
then,
earth
Warriors?
enclosing a burial chamber.
Oh, aye? You're a grave robber.
I am no such thing.
Don't worry, lass. I've met all sorts in here over the years. I won't tell anyone.
I assure you, my goal is more noble than petty grave robbery.
What sort of relics do you find, then? Gold? Silver? Bones?
Well, rarely gold or silver, but treasures certainly. Ancient pottery is the most common find. I've been excavating barrows all over the country. I'm documenting my findings in preparation for my book. It shall be called Vestiges of the Antiquities in Rural England.
Oh, aye. Very interesting. But what does old Leonard have to do with this?
He sent me a letter in which he told me about an unusual barrow in
Sticking a
Bewlay,
minus, yeah,
a site called
that's a funny
Hobbs
one.
Barrow. I'm meeting him here this evening to find out more.
I've lived here nigh on my whole life, and I've heard nowt about a Hobbs Barrow.
What can you tell me about Bewlay?
Aye, it's a quiet place. People keep to themselves, work hard.
I look forward to exploring the village tomorrow.
There's not a lot to see, lass. But St. Edmund's Church is a fine building, worth a visit.
Yeah, and then it kind of escalated into doing it all yourself because somebody got drunk.
Are you sure you've never heard of Hobbs Barrow?
Not in my life, lass, but I'll tell you something. The moors stretch further than the eyes can see once you leave this village. There's no doubt many
Well, we're about to find out,
Look.
Loxam.
Mr. Shoulder said the barrow is well known locally, a place of legend.
I'm afraid you're going to have to speak to him about it. Why are you interested in digging around in the dirt, lass? Haven't you better things to do with your time?
I enjoy nothing more than the thrill of discovery, uncovering the past.
Yeah,
and
so
piecing
did I,
together our
Warriors.
history. I inherited this passion from my father.
Oh, a barrow digger too, eh?
Indeed. He would take me with him on excavations as a child.
Does he still come with you now, on your own adventures?
I'm afraid my father's been bedbound by illness for many years.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that, lass.
Thank you, Mr. Kemp. He is well looked after at a private hospital. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Kemp.
Well, I've been the proprietor of this inn for the last 16 years. I worked as a drover all over the country in my younger days.
So this is the
Saved up
Warriors.
my coin and bought this
That's
place.
his job.
It's a fine inn.
Thank you. I often run short of ale, but my rooms are rarely full. We don't get many outsiders wanting to stay overnight here in Bewlay.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
Mr. Shoulder should really be here by now. I'll sit down and wait. Where on earth is he? What a waste of time this is turning out to be.
Evening there, miss.
Not you again.
I just wanted to apologise for earlier. I deserved that slap. I'm sorry for my behaviour. The drink gets a hold of me sometimes.
Let's start again, shall we?
My name is Arthur Tillett.
Thomasina Bateman.
What brings you to Bewlay, anyway?
I'm here to meet someone, but he has not arrived.
His loss, if you ask me.
Perhaps you know the gentleman, Mr. Leonard Shoulder.
Oh, I know Mr. Shoulder all right. If I may be so bold as to say, he's a bit long in the tooth for you.
The relationship is not what you're implying. I've never met him. In fact, I know very little about him at all.
Get me an ale and I'll tell you all about the old sod.
Sure, let's buy him an ale.
One ale, coming right up.
Thank you very much, Miss Bateman. Then I'll tell you all about old Leonard Shoulder.
I'm ready to slap him again, even in worst case.
How can I help you?
A tankard of your finest ale, Mr. Kemp.
There we are. 2 pence, please.
Thank you. This was the last of my money, but Kenneth will be here tomorrow with more funds. Here you are, Arthur.
Thanking you. Oh, that hits the spot, that does, lass. Now then. Old Leonard Shoulder.
Arthur? Mr. Tillett? Oh, for heaven's sake. The man is in a drunken stupor.
Can we go back in? Can we...
How can I help you?
May I trouble you for a glass of water?
If it's water you're after, I just refilled the jug in your room for you.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
As you were.
This may come in handy. I don't wish to carry the bowl around.
Oh, damn. Some robbery or... That's scary.
Oh, what the hell was that for?
You passed out, Mr. Tillett.
Oh, sorry, lass. Where were I? Leonard Shoulder. Hold on another minute. I'm making for a piss.
This man is unbelievable.
Oh, I thought I was gonna be able to follow him in there and just... Nope. There's
It feels like an hour has
idiotic
passed.
people freaking
Perhaps I
everywhere.
should go in there and check on him.
Miss Bateman? My apologies. The ladies are closed due to faulty plumbing. You'll have to use the gents.
Lovely. Mr. Tillett? The jug is empty. The water looks highly questionable. I ought to keep my hands out of it. The mirror is coated in a thick layer of grime. Some excavations are best left to others. Mr. Tillett? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Mr. Tillett, are you in there? Well, you're not Mr. Tillett. The mangy thing is fast asleep. I'd rather not touch it. The thing stinks to high heaven. The door opens a crack, but appears to be blocked from the other side. I think I can hear someone moving around. Mr. Tillett? Arthur, are you out there? Judging from the draft coming from below, this door must lead outside. I should investigate further.
Well, it's expensive in New York, isn't it? All over the place.
I can't reach the window from down here. These look modern. I'm surprised.
Let's see, there's nothing else.
I'd rather... Good evening, sir.
How can I help you?
There's a door to the outside in the gents' lavatories. Why is it bolted?
That door doesn't even have a lock.
So you didn't lock the door?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you seen Arthur Tillett?
I thought he were with you.
He went to the lavatory and has not returned.
That sounds like Arthur Tillett. Don't worry, lass. He'll be back.
Thanks for your time.
As you were.
For that price, you can get like a you can get a house here that you pay monthly for. For that price, you can even buy a small house even.
The window box is well out of reach. The Plough and Furrow Inn. The inn where I am to meet Mr. Shoulder. Excuse me, sir. Someone has wedged the door shut. Mr. Tillett. Why would he have done that?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing here in Sweden, you know, capital city.
Did Mr. Tillett leave, then block the door behind him? Something strange is going on here. Who was that old chap I saw outside the alley? He headed eastward. Maybe I could catch up with him and ask him if he saw Mr. Tillett. A pearly white gent's glove. It's certainly unlike anything Mr. Tillett was wearing. Seems rather out of place here. Peculiar. A fine white glove, gent's style. I found it in the alleyway behind the Plough and Furrow. There is a single match remaining inside. I suspect the barrels are empty, otherwise the locals would be rolling them into their cellars.
But it's the same thing with the capital of here in Sweden called Stockholm. The rents are insane in that city. But you make more money, but it's like evens out, you know, so it doesn't really matter. But there is like no apartments really to get there unless you want to pay some robbery prices.
I could tether a horse here if I had one. The post has been embellished with a fine bronze bust of a horse. A warm glow permeates from within, making me feel somewhat cold and damp.
Sir?
A humble local dwelling. The old man has disappeared into the darkness. I'd best turn back to the inn. I don't wish to go knocking door to door.
I don't.
A fine example of a church. It looks like it was built in the Norman style. I shouldn't wander too far. Beating raw metal into a fine object is an admirable skill. I didn't come to Bewlay to sweep their streets.
That's cool.
Last orders.
I should get some sleep. Finding the missing men of Bewlay shall have to wait for tomorrow. I can't think of anything else to talk about right now. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow at midday. I should get some sleep. A lovely place to warm oneself.
Clicked everything in here. We tried to talk to him before.
The last orders bell. Savior of many a life. A fine exemplar of inebriation. Kenneth will be arriving tomorrow.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yes, I must get some sleep. I shall track down Mr. Shoulder tomorrow.
Miss Bateman,
Yes?
off to bed.
Yes. I'm afraid Mr. Shoulder's let me down.
The rotter. Perhaps he will make himself known tomorrow.
I should hope so. This is turning into a waste of my time.
Ah, don't mind the locals, miss. It's just that we don't get a lot of visitors in Bewlay.
Quite.
They mean well, believe me.
Sure, Mr. Kemp.
Please, call me Stanley.
Good night, Stanley.
Sleep well, Miss Bateman.